thank you for joining me today. I have been wanting to try a black notebook for a really long time, and I finally got it. Ta-da! So I went digging through my art supplies, and I found some Sharpies and different pens that I thought would work great. I did run into a snag though. When I started using them, it just looked like I was drawing with water. It was kind of disappointing. But after thinking and some digging, I found these metallic markers. Aren't they pretty? And they're shiny and they look bright on the paper. I know a lot of people use Poscas, but I don't have Poscas. So this is as good as it got. So I did some wave doodles, and these are going to turn into vines, as you can see. And then I took my pink and started doing some doodle flowers. I didn't really have any flowers in mind, so they were very random. And as time went on, I tried doing different styles and maybe playing around with it, seeing if I could create any flowers that I liked. My favorite ones were definitely the ones where you went round and around and around, because they looked like roses or peonies maybe. So I really liked those. They looked fancy. This one is supposed to be like a sunflower. It's not exactly, but it's kind of close. And then I took this blue color and went through it so it would give it some, not texture, some variety. Give it some variety in colors and maybe make it pop a little more. So I just went around and did some kind of shadows. And here I'm using the gold to make one of those peony/roses. I made some clovers, and here's just some squiggles or curlicues, whatever you want to call it. This is silver, but it looked pretty close to white, so I started using it as a white, kind of like a highlighter, but it is just silver. And then here I'm moving on to my first try at bubbles. Later I will do bubbles with pencil, but I just wanted to try to figure out starting it. So at first it looked really good, but then I think I added too many colors too close together and it started looking less like a bubble. And then I don't exactly know what this is supposed to be. I just drew a bunch of lines and wanted to color inside of them. So if you're waiting for anything in particular, there's not going to be anything. It's not a cat. It's not a mountain. You can pretend it is, but I didn't have a plan for this. I just wanted to try to use all the colors and put them all together. And I think it worked out okay. So moving on, this was my first tryout page, trying it with metallic markers. Now I'm going to move on to pencils. And I don't know if you can guess what it is, but I started doing bubbles. Well, that's it. Thank you. Just kidding. We're not even close to being done. Alright, so I added some highlights and added some blue color. I love how vibrant it looks on the black paper. Now I'm just finishing up with a few colors and our bubbles will be done. It was definitely a lot better than the metallic marker try, but I'm glad I tried it on that one because then I knew not to put so many colors so smushed together, which improved it, I think, a lot. What do you think of the bubbles? Do they look convincing? Do they still look cartoonish? I think that if you wanted to try it at home, it's pretty easy. You just take certain colors and do it around the circle that you make and add some highlights. So this is the finished product. Now, this one was definitely a challenge. I started doing it and had no idea what I was getting myself into. Well, as you just read, this is going to be a very, very rough sketch. So please wait until I get farther, and also trust the process, because while doing this, I didn't even trust myself. Thankfully I did and kept going. Alright, here comes a transition. Are you ready? Alright, 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh yes. I mean, that was a pretty cool transition, am I right? So, as you can see, it looks a little bit better than my rough sketch. What? Well, I mean, hopefully it looks better than a little bit better, because that rough sketch was rough. As far as people go, I am so confident that this went really well. As far as people go, and my level of expertise in the field of drawing people. Alright, so now I'm adding a little tint of color that you can't really notice, but it just added something to it, having that little bit of color. And then I put since it was all a black background, her hair was kind of fading in, so I put a little haze around it. Now, I already sketched out and started working on this avocado before I decided, why don't I just add this to the video? I wasn't planning on it at first, but here we are. So it's an avocado with honey on it. My mom was teasing me. She's like, when do you ever put honey on an avocado? And I was like, I don't know, but it sounds like it could be a good combination. Besides, I was having a lot of fun doing water, because then you get all those like glossy highlights. So I just randomly added something. That was pretty much the real reason I did it. Anyway, back to where I was. So there's honey, and I added some highlights. I pretty much finished the seed before I started recording. And I think it looks pretty good. It makes it look round, which is sometimes hard to do on a flat surface, making something look 3D and round. And then I took this metallic marker that I used in the beginning and added some more highlights to make it brighter. Finished the avocado green. I was thinking, why do they name it avocado green when there's so many different colors to an avocado? It's a little bit annoying. So I used avocado green and like two or three other greens. I went a tad bit overboard with the highlights, but I think it looks nice. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. Bye.